I'm the fanciest boy in all the land with these Heelys. So I'm going to customize them and cut them in half. Sure.
Wait, why are you doing that?
I don't know. Could be fun.
You just spent so much time on this.
Today's video is sponsored by Bloomscape. So Heelys sent me some free shoes and my 10-year-old self is screaming.
Freedom is a wheel in your soul. It's Heelys and it's all about fun. So cruise around with your friends or simply show off and start new trends. It's Heelys. Walk, roll, or create the next move. Live on the edge. It's all about you. So get out and get on a roll. Be yourself and free your soul. Go to Heelys.com.
So we have these nice little directions on how to put the wheels into my sole. So we got them all out of the packaging and they gave me a cute little tool that I'm supposed to use to push out, snap out those little guys. And to put the wheels in, I just smack it. Sure, we're just gonna smack it and we're good to go. Same for that one. And we're off. We're ready to walk, roll, or create the next move. Here comes nothing. It's Heelys. It's Heelys. So I got a bunch of different paint to test out on the fabric to see what works. And so first I'm trying out just like cheap acrylic paint. Then this acrylic paint that's meant for fabric. And then like latex paint that you'd get at like hardware stores. And I'm just gonna paint it all out and leave one spot kind of thick. Another starts kind of thin. And you're gonna let that dry. And with it all dry, I'm going to do the old wear and tear test, the tried and true between the fingers, scrunchy, and it was aces. They all kind of look the same. And so I want to test out how they held underwater. And again, they're pretty similar. I think the latex one from the hardware store was marginally better, so that's what we're gonna use that one. That guy. Old Valspar color sample. So I'm going to mock up kind of what I think I'm going to do on the shoe. I think I'm gonna do like checkerboard on the like gummy sole and then flames because I want to be really fast. And I think the flames, I want them to look more like that second one. I think that's the look. So cool. Let's get to it. So I just started drawing it on with the pencil and immediately realized that like it smudges and you can't really erase it. So I'm like, I guess I'll go to the store and grab something that works, like a water soluble pencil. I also grabbed the paint and some embroidery floss and this cute succulent to keep me company while I work. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I'll move that right there and let's start drawing out the other side. It was very faint and that's all I really needed. And so I drew on the side and on the back, and I don't need that little hang guy. I feel like if I need to use that, then my shoes are too tight. But with that, I'm ready to start painting. And like I was painting over the pencil, but you could still kind of see it. So I'm glad that I went and grabbed that water soluble guy. But once it was dry, I moved on to the back. And I wanted it to look like there was like flames coming up from the wheels as I rode, as I walked, wheeled, rolled, or created the next trend. So I painted on both like the canvas and just like the gummy sole all the way to the wheel. And for the wheel, this was super fun to actually do. I just rolled the wheel and let the paintbrush kind of just glide onto the wheel to make that nice little lines. It was a little thicker, that yellow one. I guess it's orange. And then the yellow one, I thought I could just go over it to even it out, and that did work. So now I'm so fast. I'm the fastest boy in the West. Moving on to the inside of that shoe. I feel like I was getting a little sloppy. But I could kind of clean it up with each layer and use that yellow layer to make as crisp of line as you can. I've always been really bad at making like really crisp lines when I paint, but I do love painting. So with that all done, the game plan was to do a chain stitch on each of those lines, so red, orange, and a yellow one. So to start it, I thought I would poke holes in the canvas in the shoe, because I mean, if there's a hole in something, you can embroider it, right? That was my logic. And They were really small holes, so I took my punch needle actually and went through them again to make them a little bit bigger, because I figured that would make it easier to go in, like to sew it or embroider it, I guess, from the inside. So let's flip the shoe so that I can work on it from the inside of the shoe. Took my embroidery floss, cut it, threaded it through my needle, and then on the other end of the floss I tied a little knot, and we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. And so from the inside, I'm just gonna poke up through that first hole. It turned out to be super hard. So I had an idea. I thought I would take my punch needle and push it in from the front, and then thread the needle through the hollow punch needle, which worked really well. I was kind of surprised. I've never thought of that before. But pull all the way through till the knot hits, and then we're gonna go right back in the hole we just came out. And I had to use pliers. It was still really hard to pull it, but you want to pull it until you have a little loop. You don't want to pull all the way through, and then come up again through the bottom, and you want to make sure that loop goes over your needle so that when you pull it on through, it's going to tighten around what you just pulled up. So again, back through that same hole, and you're going to pull it through, and again leave a little knot, and then when you come up again, you're going to go through that loop and pull it tight, and that's a chain stitch. I'm going to show that punch needle trick again because I am really stoked about it. But yeah, you just put it in there and thread the needle through that hollow part of the punch needle. And when you pull the punch needle out, whoop, your needle's sticking through. So you're just going to keep on doing that until you're ran out of thread. And I actually ran out of thread way quicker than I thought I would have. So to tie it off, I just, from the inside, back stitched through one of my previous stitches, tied a knot, and then cut the excess, and then just went back at it like before. It was taking super long, and I knew that the footage wasn't going to be the best because it's so all over the place. So I decided to do it off camera and show this nice little last knot. Wow, great job. And for the next ones, just a couple transitions. And then it was rubbing right off of that gummy, so I'm going to touch that up. But overall, I think I watched 2 videos while I was working on this. But I think it was worth it. I think they look really cool with the paint and the embroidery. And now for the checkered part, I'm just going to tape off the parts that I don't want. And I just cut along the edge of the sole. Don't cut my sole. And then cut in the checkered. So I did 2 lines across and then just made little squares all across the tape, sure, and just began to pick them out. So with that tape stencil made, time to just paint it on. And I thought I would do kind of like a dry brush for the first one because I'm trying to like not let it bleed through. And so I did that and then like let it dry a little bit and then did another layer, and then I let it dry, and then I did another layer, a thicker one, and yeah, once this dries I'll take it off. But before I do that, alright, let me see if I understand this ad. So the Bloomscape, they just deliver it right to your front porch, and you open the door, you get it, super easy, you kiss your delivery man, perfect, you have it, you're good to go. So then you just need to make some room on your table, open up the box, those scissors, that works. They have some temperature still to keep them nice and fresh, it looks like. You open up the little rolled up plants, and there you go, you got some nice little plants to plant. Then there's some start your bloom kit how to grow steps. Looks like they have easy to come steps. Potting soil. Those plants are outdoor plants, but they work inside, I guess, if it's by a sunny window. Then you can just go to bloomscape.com for 20% off your first order of $100 or more using the coupon code SHMOOT. Look at those plants. You must have had them for forever. Oh, they grew. They look, oh wow. Actually, they look pretty good. They look really good. And then the ones in the corner, they also look cute. My favorite thing about them actually are the pots. I love plants, but those pots are. So with it all dried, time to take off the tape. And I immediately noticed when I took off the first little square that it wasn't like pulling very clean. It was like ripping the paint right off of the gummy sole, and so I recut the edges to try to keep it a little cleaner look. But also I was kind of stoked with like the sketchy look, so worked out in my favor. Because it peels off so easily, I probably should coat it. I'm not going to, but time to do the other side. Wow, you're so quick. It bodes well for me that people like how quick I am. So on the other shoe, I actually didn't embroider it just because I'm lazy and I was going to cut this one in half anyways. And so I'm actually really stoked with how they turned out. I miss painting. My cute little punch needle did take a beating, but it was all worth it because I feel like they turned out real neat. Real neat job there, Brian. Good work. Good job. So before I cut that one in half, I want to go take him for a spin. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and ruin this miter saw real quick and clamp those shoes down so that I don't have to put my fingers by this, because honestly I did not know how this was going to go. To my surprise, oh, sparks. That was when I was going through the wheel. I think like the bearing or the part of the wheel, we'll see. But I mean, I was surprised at how well that worked. I did have to flip the shoe around because it didn't reach all the way through it. So we're just going to go ahead and cut right through that there, then there, toe. Toe? Did I squeak on toe? I might have just spoke on toe. And take a look-see at how it looks from the inside. Wow, that should cut right in half. So I mean, it has a lot of padding there on the heel, which makes sense because you're gonna spend most of your time on the heel, on that wheel, and then on the toes is really just the insole. So I asked Heelys to send me an extra pair because I told them I was gonna cut one of the shoes in half, and I will be putting that up on my secret shop on my website for members, probably sometime in the next couple days, and it will be free. So just first come, first serve. Plus, I'll have the one shoe that isn't cut in half with the flames if you guys would like that for art, I guess. But yeah, that'll be available on my secret shop as well, which is on my site, www.schmood.com. So cool. Alright, so be sure to like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. And yeah, if you want to be a schmoody pie and get your name on my video here at the end, just go to my website.